Be in there, Powerful.
Roger, go ahead, Powerful.
Roger, mate. All secured.
Thank you, Powerful.
On the seabed, here lies a paradise for angels and men. Come back to Bermuda again and again. Come back for the sunshine. Come back for the good times. Come away to celebrate, relax and unwind. Come back to Bermuda, it's one of a kind. 1 week in Bermuda is a dream.
Whether you arrive in Bermuda by air or by sea, what you'll find is another world. Every year, our tiny 21-mile strip of subtropical paradise, just 2 hours away from the United States, attracts 500,000 people, all of them anxious to escape from the hubbub of big city life and wind down Bermuda style. Some like to lie prone under the hot sun on our plentiful pink beaches. Others explore the lush green lanes which run the length of the island. Enjoy our sporting life, or take in the 400 years of history which have elapsed since the island was founded. Not too much has changed in those 400 years, in keeping with Bermuda's laid-back lifestyle, where any change is a gradual process, and values, such as friendliness and politeness, have not been erased in the name of progress. Even our British-style bobbies have adapted the Bermuda businessman's traditional summer dress, Bermuda shorts and knee socks, topped off by the unique bobby's helmet. Hamilton is the nearest Bermuda ever gets to big city life. Hamilton, where the pinks and greens and blues of the shop fronts form a pastel-coloured backdrop to the daily sight of people going about their business. By taxi, car, bus, bicycle, motorcycle, and even horse and carriage. Our cruise ship visitors are able to return home with the unique boast that they slept on Front Street, albeit in the luxurious cabin of a liner which actually ties up alongside Hamilton's main street. Both Parleville Park in the centre of Hamilton and Victoria Park, a stone's throw away, are carpeted with a year-round display of the island's flowers. The horse and buggy is still a familiar sight on the island's roads. The philosophy is simple. Why hurry when you've already arrived in one of the world's most beautiful spots? Just down the road from Hamilton is the lush splendour of the Bermuda Botanical Gardens, where the Premier's official residence, Camden, provides a splendid example of colonial architecture. Visitors are welcome to explore the garden's grounds, which house examples of the island's dazzling array of flowers, trees and plants.
Come away, come away, come away, come away to Bermuda.
Locals and visitors think Flats Inlet, with its shaded palms, turquoise ocean and pastel pink buildings, is one of the most picturesque sights on the island. The village of Flats nestles midway between Hamilton and St George's and contains the Bermuda Aquarium, where examples of the island's wildlife are found in all their technicolor splendour. The spectacularly coloured angelfish and the shocking pink flamingo all call the aquarium home. For most people coming to Bermuda, their first breathtaking glimpse of the island is from the comfort of an aeroplane as the ancient town of St George's comes into view. It's a far cry from the first sight of Bermuda which met its founder, a bedraggled Sir George Somers, after his ship, the Sea Venture, had been tossed for 3 days and nights by a hurricane. The British nobleman and his crew had all but given up hope of survival until the welcome sight of Bermuda came into view. Sir George claimed the island for the King of England back in 1609 and then set about constructing another ship, the Deliverance, to complete his journey to America. Today, a detailed model of the Deliverance stands near the main square in St George's. Other traditions have also survived from the 17th century, although today the ducking stool and the stalks are used mainly to give our visitors an amusing insight into the customs of the time. The St George's town crier, Bobby Burns, is never short of volunteers to give any nagging wenches a ducking.
Mistress Jane Outerbridge for nagging her husband. Will you shut up?
Let me go! I didn't do it! Let me go! No! No! I didn't do it!
All in favor of can we duck her again?
No!
Duck her again!
How dare you!
Duck her again!
No, please! I didn't do much!
Again!
St George's is different from the rest of the island, with its tranquil town life, its maze of winding alleys, and its host of historical buildings. A walk through the old town takes the pedestrian back 3 centuries, to the days when the British colonists walked through the narrow streets, bartered in the town square, and worshipped at the ancient church of St Peter's. Even the street names reflect the quaint qualities of the town. Shinbone Alley, Duke of York Street, Featherbed Alley. Fort St Catherine at the far northeastern tip of the island was used during the days of the mighty British Empire to keep a close watch on any would-be invaders with designs on the important seafaring colony of Bermuda. In 1826, the Duke of Wellington ordered that the fortifications be strengthened against the possibility of attack. And even today, the massive stone ramparts and bristling cannons form an imposing sight. Nowadays, the fort's stone-lined rooms down below house interesting historical exhibits instead of soldiers. Due south of St George's is a structure most mariners first set eyes on when they sail into Bermuda. The towering St David's Lighthouse acts as a beacon to ships negotiating Bermuda's hazardous reefs. And another landmark of a different kind for locals is the longtail, an aptly named and graceful bird which heralds the arrival of spring to Bermudians. When the sun shines, the water shimmers and the mercury rises, Bermuda takes to the water almost en masse, to take part in virtually every kind of water sport imaginable. There's water skiing across the clear, warm blue waters of the Great Sand as speedboats carve a whitewash through the ocean, or windsurfing virtually anywhere along the island's spectacular coastline. Bermudians race just about everything that floats, from the smaller windsurfers and sunfish up to the bigger keelboats. There's even offshore racing in cruising boats, and for international yachtsmen, one of the highlights of their calendar is the Newport to Bermuda race, held every 2 years when the sleek ocean racers arrive. With its temperate climate and year-round sunshine, Bermuda seems like paradise. Yet amazingly, one of the early groups to discover Bermuda turned down the chance to colonize it. The books tell us that the Spanish were the first to arrive in the island, followed by the Portuguese, who landed in 1543. They left behind a carving on a South Shore rock, which has come to be known as Spanish Rock. But they didn't bother to settle here. It's interesting to ponder the changes between then and now, as Bermuda has developed into a sophisticated resort which is a sportsman's paradise. Golfers, for example, are in seventh heaven, with a total of 9 championship golf courses to choose from, and none of them's more than a green's length from the blue ocean.
Drop down from the stars, rising out of the sea, set in a pool of ocean, turquoise green.
One of the most confusing events of the year is the non-mariners race, which is held in midsummer in Somerset's Mangrove Bay, usually watched by hundreds of equally baffled spectators. The object appears to be to build a boat which is destined to sink swiftly, thereby qualifying as non-mariner of the year. But it's basically an excuse to splash around, drink beer, and enjoy yourself in the hot summer sun.
Back soon. 2 weeks in Bermuda.
Viewed here from on high, lies at the West End across the shimmering Great Sand, and in its heyday was one of the bastions of the British Empire. That was when Britannia really did rule the waves. Nowadays, parts of the old naval buildings house the Maritime Museum, which has exhibits from Bermuda's nautical past, such as Spirit of Bermuda, one of the traditional Bermuda-fitted dinghies. Are unique to Bermuda and are raced regularly both in the Great Sound and in St George's. They are ridiculously over-canvassed and add on a spinnaker just to make things even more difficult for the 6-man crews. The 6th man performs the vital function of bailing out, but even so it's a common sight to see them sink into the briny. be many more spectacular sights than the Bermuda skyline as it nears the end of a summer day. Seen here from high above Castle Harbour as a fiery orange sun dips into the western sky. Cocktail hour is a time to dress up and organise a romantic dinner, preferably at a South Shore gourmet restaurant with a moonlight view of the Silver Ocean. Everything on the menu looks good, but especially the Bermuda fish and lobster. Who like a little more noise and ceremony to fill the nighttime air, the Bermuda Regiment Band strikes up on alternate weeks in Front Street in the traditional Beating the Retreat ceremony.
On the seabed, here lies a paradise for angels and men. Come back to Bermuda again and again.
Whether you arrive by cruise ship or are lucky enough to fly in on Concorde, at the end of a week in paradise, there's only one inevitable end to the holiday: to leave. But you'll take back with you memories of warm summer nights, an azure ocean, and a relaxing atmosphere. Everyone agrees that Bermuda is indeed another world. We hope you will be back soon.
Come see Bermuda, it's here for you, waiting for you. Come away, come away, come away, come away, come away, come away, come away to Bermuda. come away to Bermuda.
Bermuda Highlights, available for you exclusively at Trimmingham's of Bermuda.
The Bermuda series of videotapes, such as Bermuda Highlights, Flower Paradise Bermuda, Bermuda Anti-Stress, and the Bermuda Video are available for you in VHS or beta in the following stores: Chimmingham Brothers, Bananas, Stewart's on Reed Street, The Annex, as well as the Music Box, Chatham House, Island Video, Vera P. Card, or from your hotel gift shop. This film has been recorded on AGFA Studio Performance Videotape. AGFA Films and Tapes, preferred by professionals.
Nestled in the warmth of the Gulf Stream, Bermuda enjoys warm summers and mild winters. Still a British colony, Bermudians have plied a number of trades over the last 300 years, and Bermuda has emerged in the 20th century as a prime tourist destination. Surrounded as she is by the Atlantic Ocean, which laps the shores of her 21 square miles, the sea has played an important role in her history. Today, tourists and locals still find many of their activities closely linked to the ocean, whether it's luxuriating on warm pink sand or speeding across her turquoise waters. But the spectacular beauty to be seen in Bermuda is not all that makes the visitor return to her shores again and again. For under her exterior mantle of vibrant colors, perfect beaches, and country lanes lies the heart of the people of Bermuda. It is their warmth and charm which make Bermuda so very special. crystal clear water and abundance of inshore reefs make Bermuda the ideal place to view at first hand her colorful marine life. Nowhere else can a mask and snorkel open up the vista of spectacular sights that greet our visitors when they plunge into our warm waters.
Crystal waters and shining sun, wake me up when morning comes. I'll be waiting for your call, waiting for you and my friend. Crystal waters and long dark hills.
Perhaps most famous are Bermuda's South Shore beaches, where miles of the famous pink sand stretch as far as the eye can see. And unlike other places, there always seems to be enough for everyone to be as gregarious or private as they wish. And tucked away everywhere on the island are small beaches that you can often be lucky enough to have to yourself, your own private paradise. And always lapping the soft sand is the clean, clear water to cool off in. The water and sand do not have an exclusive on color in Bermuda. The buildings are pastel-colored confections that belie the high-tech international business going on behind their walls as they watch over cruise ships only yards from their doors.
I'm sad, and I'm calling you.
And behind their doors, Bermudians are tempted by the ever-near water activities so close to their hearts. Mixed with the traditional architecture of Bermuda are some splendid examples of different styles, reminders of Bermuda's varied history. The Cabinet Office, from which the Premier directs the affairs of the country. The City Hall in the capital of Hamilton, with its replica of the Deliverance atop its vane. And the splendid Anglican Cathedral. The joy of Bermuda, of course, is that it's not a conglomeration of buildings, even pastel ones. Narrow winding roads lined with palms and often as not bounded by one of Bermuda's championship golf courses give the island an incomparable ambiance and gentle pace. Bermuda is not the place to be if you want to rush madly around. As befits a country which is not only a colony but has also been a colonizer, history is in evidence throughout the island, but perhaps nowhere in such abundance as in the ancient capital of St. George's. The replica of the Deliverance, which Bermuda's first settlers built to reach America after their own ship had foundered on the reefs, stands on Ordnance Island. And nearby, a statue of Sir George Somers, for whom the islands were first named, the Somers Isles. The charm and historic value of the Old Town, as it is known, are carefully maintained and preserved, so that a walk through St. George's is like taking a stroll through history. It seems that every time you turn a corner in Bermuda, you meet sights more beautiful and picturesque than you could find in hundreds of miles anywhere else. Yet Bermuda boasts only 21 square miles. It's an island where time often seems to be of little importance. Yet our residents are an international business that helps maintain our strong economy. But while our businessmen work with sophisticated technology and high finance, they are perhaps best known in the rest of the world for their dress. It's only in Bermuda that the traditional Bermuda shorts are topped with jacket and tie, and the ensemble completed with knee-length socks. In Bermuda, you'll find an enchanting combination of the old and traditional alongside the new and sophisticated, and always carefully blended so that the traditional seems to be valued just a little more. Many of our tourists still arrive on our shores in the traditional way, by sea, as is only appropriate in a country where you're never more than 1,000 yards from the ocean. The ocean was once the life's blood of Bermuda and is still a way of life for many Bermudians who share it now with our visitors. The sea is all-encompassing, and the variety and number of craft in Bermuda reflects that we are still entranced by it. Races to and from Bermuda are important events in any yachtsman's calendar, and none more so than the biannual Newport to Bermuda race. After a strenuous sail down from the eastern seaboard, crew members relax in Bermuda's safe harbors as they enjoy their well-earned respite from the elements. Domestic scenes abound on craft more used to plowing proudly through the ocean's waves and streaking past lesser vessels. Restrained at their moorings, they nonetheless make an impressive sight during their stay in Bermuda. As a cruise ship passes through Two Rock Passage on its way to Hamilton Harbor, it seems to dwarf the island. And for the visitors standing on deck, it is perhaps the smallness of Bermuda that is their first impression. And no matter whether you set foot in Bermuda from a gangplank or airplane steps, what you probably notice next is what there aren't in Bermuda. There aren't high-rises. There isn't dirt or smog. There isn't that city gray. There aren't bleak stretches of tarmacked highways. Bermuda, a world apart. For the sportsman or spectator, Bermuda offers all that you could wish. Fishing is naturally a passion in Bermuda, whether you sit on the rocks with a handline or take a trip deep-sea fishing with one of Bermuda's captains. No fewer than 9 championship golf courses to choose from. Tennis, which Bermuda introduced to North America, is ever popular. Cricket is a summertime obsession, perhaps more popular in Bermuda than its native England, for where else are there 2 days of public holidays set aside for the annual cup match competition? But Bermudians never stay away from the water for long, and year-round sailing in boats and yachts from the large to the small, from the expensive and luxurious to the small and homemade, is a national pastime. The Bermuda-fitted dinghy is a craft that is now only seen in local races. It has an enormously long bowsprit and boom, which means that a vast amount of canvas is carried for its size. With their complement of 6 crewmen, they skim through Bermuda's blue waters with perilously little freeboard, and, as might be expected, capsizes are frequent. But in Bermuda's Gulf-warmed waters, that's all part of the fun of the competition, and there's always another race to win. The luxury and comfort of today's cruise ships contrasts with earlier forms of travel. But in Bermuda, the old and new have learned to live in harmony so that we can enjoy the best of both worlds. So whether you want a slow jaunt, or a modern tour of our island, a peaceful stroll, or a gentle sail, Bermuda has it all. Bermuda's aquarium in Flats Village will not only show you examples of all the marine life which surrounds our shores, but also houses a small zoo, which is an attraction for children and adults alike. If you'd rather explore our marine life on dry land, or you'd like to know exactly what it was you saw when you were snorkeling, then the aquarium is a must. Will also explain the geological history of the island, and the many exhibits will let you understand how Bermuda came to be, how it has evolved, and what animal life is now to be found on the island. Dolphins are generally considered to be the most intelligent animals after man. At the Dolphin Show at Grotto Bay, there can be no doubt of their ability to entertain.
All right, get ready, that's it. Way up! Yay! All right, slow down right there. Now balance it, and let's have it. I want to thank you very much. Get up, you get up. Ready? Way up front! All right, get honey on the line.
A favorite way to see Bermuda's marine life in its natural environment without getting wet is to take a trip on a glass-bottomed boat. It's a double treat as you enjoy a water tour of much of Bermuda as you journey to your destination. Guides will give you the background and history of the smaller islands that you pass, for Bermuda is a chain of over 300 islands, and once at your destination will introduce you to the wonderful marine life that inhabits our reefs. Not only does Bermuda have the best of everything, but the best of everything else comes to Bermuda. The majestic Queen Elizabeth II is a regular visitor, though her size prevents her from entering Hamilton Harbor, and her passengers are ferried to and from the shore. Jacques Cousteau's innovative wind-powered craft paid a call before it sailed to the USA. Bermuda's Maritime Museum at the western end of the island houses exhibits of older forms of seagoing transport. And a visit to the museum takes you on a journey to yesteryear with its stories of Bermuda's seafaring history, in not all of which do Bermudians emerge as upright citizens. Each year, the museum is host to the Cannonball ceremony, when the museum pays its official annual rent of 1 cannonball to the government. Dignitaries from the museum and government gather with other guests and visitors to take part in this colorful ceremony.
Acknowledge the rent of the Maritime Museum as fully paid for the first year of its first 99-year lease.
A ceremony filled with the pomp and circumstance of yesteryear, of a time when Bermuda's trade and economy depended on the sea around her, on tall ships whose visits brought us much-needed goods and news of the rest of the world. Today, the tall ships still visit us under the auspices of the Sail Training Association. They no longer bring us goods or provide our only links with the world, but they symbolize still the importance of the sea to Bermuda, of our commitment to it, and as a reminder that perhaps more than anywhere else in the world, Bermuda seeks to retain its heritage and its links with the past while moving into the future.
The Bermuda series of videotapes, such as Bermuda Highlights, Flower Paradise Bermuda, Bermuda Anti-Stress, and the Bermuda Video are available for you in VHS or beta in the following stores: Chimmingham Brothers, Bananas, Stewart's on Reed Street, The Annex, as well as the Music Box, Chatham House, Island Video, Vera P. Card, or from your hotel gift shop. This film has been recorded on AGFA Studio Performance Videotape. AGFA Films and Tapes, preferred by professionals.